Hi TET viewers, you're here with me, Suyo, on this special interview. I don't know about you guys, but the last few months I was glued to my TV every time Enga Veetu Mapillai came on. So this show was very popular. We were watching all over the world, but a special part of the show is that we had a girl from Toronto go on it, and she went all the way to the finales. So who better to talk to us and answer all of our questions? Susana. Hi, Susana.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. So, are you happy to be back in Toronto?
I am, yes. I missed
How long
home.
did you go for?
Literally, I think it was February, like quite 3 months.
3 months,
Yeah,
eh?
I made it to 3 months.
Like all the other girls were like closer to India. Like I know there was people from Singapore, Malaysia, and all that. But you had to travel all the way from here. So it was like a huge lifestyle change, right?
Definitely.
So how did you
complete change.
manage for 3 months?
I actually don't know. I think a lot of it, we were so busy.
Yeah.
Like the minute we got there, you're just like immersed into whatever you had to do. So part of it was you're busy and you're having fun.
Right.
So that's how it was. But looking back, I don't know how I did it. Honestly, don't know.
So what? Tell us about yourself. Like what did you do here? What did you have to leave? To go there for?
So well, there's a lot actually. I have a son, so that was the biggest thing. I mean, I wasn't sure, like when you're going there, I went with an open mind. I wasn't sure how long I'm going for. So then you have to make sure you're okay, the maximum time, 3 months being, is he going to be okay? So that was a huge part of my life. The other part is my career. Right. So I'm a radiation therapy planner at Sunnybrook Hospital. I've been there for 10 years. So I had to like get up and just kind of ask my manager, can I leave?
Yeah.
And nobody understood it. They were like, what? What do you want to do? So it was a huge thing. But I needed to make sure that I wanted to do it. But like it was it was a crazy experience. It's not something that I'm used to. It's not, the whole field was like completely out of my comfort zone. So it's not like an everyday opportunity. So when it came to me, I couldn't really say no to it. I felt like there has to be a reason. Let's explore.
Well, how did the opportunity come to you? Like, I know that Arya did put out an ad saying that he is planning to get married. Were you a fan of Arya's? And so when you saw this, you're like, okay, I'm going to try for this because it's Arya. I'm planning to marry him? Or like, how did the opportunity come?
So truthfully, I didn't apply. Actually, I think I came across that video somewhere on Facebook or something like that. It was just, I found it funny. I was like, what? Okay, it's probably a joke. And I just totally ignored it. Right. As a fan, I think he's cute. I think he's a great actor. That's all as much as I know. But I like a lot of actors. Right. What happened was, I think I got, I won't go too much into the detail, but basically I got approached. They somehow came across one of my pictures on Instagram and was asking, would I be interested in a reality show? And at first I didn't even take it seriously. I'm like, this cannot be real, really, right? Yeah. I thought it was like a scam or something like that. But anyways, as I got to really talking and did my own research, it was like a true thing. And I just thought, it's just crazy. Like the whole phenomenal idea about that, right? Like there's so many people, why me, right? So I felt like, okay, there's a reason for this. I don't know what, but that's why I took it seriously.
Okay, so once you got there, tell us like your day-to-day. What did you guys do? As soon as you woke up, did you guys start shooting and did it take up the whole day? Or like what was your day like?
So when I got there, I knew there was going to be 16 girls. I had no idea who they're going to be, how they're going to, because like 16, when you think, I've never lived with so many girls. So you know, girls, you know how it is.
The drama.
The drama. And like, I don't get along with girls that much. Like usually a few friends, but that's it. Okay. So I was kind of anticipating how it's going to be, and they're mostly are Indian, so how would that be? Definitely anticipated lots of drama. But honestly, when I got there, everyone was super friendly. Naturally, there was certain girls kind of clicked with each other. So I think my roommates was Malvina and Kwasni. So one was from Bangalore, the other one from Singapore. And we just had I think we were more similar in age, and we just got along. But legit, like when we got there, a few days we kind of got to settle in and stuff, but when I think I got there for like the 25th, so 2 days later is the first shoot that's happening. So from that day onwards, our lifestyle was literally this. We'd get a call time, so we know when to wake up. You get up, take a shower, and you have to be ready. Hair and makeup would come, and then costumes. We would have had trials prior to know what you're wearing and if it fits and all of that. So costume would be there, and legit, this was our life. Like hair, makeup, costume. We're on the set, we get mic'd, and then you don't know what you're gonna do till actual shooting starts. And this was our life. So when you think about it, imagine 16 girls playing hair and makeup, dress up. It was a lot of fun.
Exactly,
it was
right?
a lot of
Who
fun.
doesn't want to get pampered?
Yeah. But at the same time, the cameras it was new to me. So that was a huge thing to get over. But like it was honestly a great experience because you're never going to get to do this kind of like unless you're interested in this field, you never are exposed to it, right?
Well, like you said, there were so many different girls, so it's obviously so many different personalities, right?
Yeah.
How did you deal with that, first of all? And who was your favorite? So if you weren't the winner, who would you have wanted to win?
So how did I deal with it? I think maybe because I was the oldest one there. So then, and I was just kind of watching. And I was intrigued. I was like, they're very different. Like everyone is actually very, very different. So I find it very interesting rather than, judging or getting offended or anything like that. I was more like I was more quiet, more mature, but like I was always like intrigued by how they are and kind of cute and very innocent at times. And everyone I had a favorite. Like I liked something about everyone. There was no one I would say was like evil or like, you know what I mean? There's nothing really bad to say about anyone. Favorites, like are you saying the top three, the other two? Or
No, it
in
could
general?
be anybody.
I would say maybe, this is a very hard question, I have to remember all the girls. I really liked Sweta, just because we got along in a lot of aspects, but she was very selfless. Like she just wants to make everyone happy, and that was her thing. So, I think that kind of a personality is very, she genuinely did like him and all of that. So like, I would say she's deserving of it.
I like your answer because I'm happy you didn't choose one of your roommates.
Yeah.
But it was, I find the same thing about Sweta too. I thought she was really, really nice and really like, to herself.
And then you could get that realness from her. Right?
Okay.
She's not like trying to pretend anything like that.
See, that's my other question. A lot of girls on set was like, okay, you know what? She's being different as soon as the camera's rolling. Did you find that was true?
I don't know, like if that's deliberate or if they're just used to it. Like some of them have background in like acting or modeling or whatever. Maybe they're used to that. I just couldn't get over the fact of having a camera in front of me. So me getting used to that was one thing, but I was just who I am. But like maybe they're used to performing or used to being on camera, and that's So I wasn't sure where that came from. I don't know if they were trying to pretend or that's just how they are in front of cameras.
And you won a lot of Token of Love, and you spent a lot of time with Arya. You got to go on the balloon ride and all that stuff, right? So how was all that, and how did the other girls take that when you got back to your room?
How was it? It was like I didn't expect it, so it was always like a nice feeling when you're chosen or whatever. It feels good, so it was nice. And I was like, oh shit, they're gonna really hate me, But honestly, to me, anyways, no one said anything. Like they were always happy for me. Always gave a hug. Like we always did that with each other. And I don't know if people anticipated more drama, but it wasn't as many drama as you would think with 16 girls or so many girls. So they were always happy. But I'm pretty sure maybe there's always certain judgments. Like how come she always gets it? Why is that fair? I'm sure those thoughts were there. No one said it to my, to my face. So I can't really talk about that.
And what about Arya? Like, how was he when you spent time alone with him, opposed to like when he was on camera or even off camera?
Yeah. So going here, like I said, I don't know him beyond the fact that he's an actor, but you really get to see another side of him. Like he's very down to earth, very cool, very mature as well. Because when you see his movies, he's very like funny, so you think he's like that all the time. But he's pretty mature and pretty down to earth. And like very easygoing, like very humble. You don't feel like you're speaking to an actor. You don't feel uncomfortable. He's very good at making everyone feel comfortable, making everyone feel like, are they okay? Like, he's very easygoing person. So yeah.
And because when you like somebody, and obviously you want to be the one spending the most time with the person. So you have to, deal with these 15 other girls spending time with him, going alone time and stuff. Did you ever feel jealous, or did you ever, get mad or anything like that?
Honestly, I didn't. And I don't know, I feel like, the whole makeup of the show is like that. Like there's more girls than just one guy. So you kind of know you have to share. In a weird way, you're sharing the guy. But also, I think all of us, like, I think those jealousies and all of that is when you're insecure. you know, insecurity kind of brings those type of things. And I'm like, if he's interested, you will know.
Right.
So why fight for that? Why are you going to feel jealous about that? Like, we can like him, but at the same time, he's got to feel it too. So if he doesn't feel it, you can just accept that, right? So I think in that way of thinking, I was very different. Other girls, not so sure. I'm sure if you watch the episodes, you probably know that.
Yes, definitely. And I was going to say, most of the girls had an issue with one of the contestants, Abrinati.
Yeah.
So if all of you guys are, you know, saying something like that, like, obviously there should be some truth to it, right? So what do you think?
My take on Abrinati was she's just very like blunt. And, you know, she's very young and blunt. So then when you put those two, whatever she speaks or feels, she lets you know.
Okay.
But she's not very, you know, she's not really reflecting on how that person will take it. Is it right? You know, even our first date it was me and her. She didn't even share the time, right? And I was more looking at her like, are you for a real person right now? Like, this is my first exposure to an Indian girl. So I'm like, are you for real?
Yeah.
You know, totally. But that's how she is. So I think every one of us had a different way of reacting towards her. You know, some people really didn't like it. You know, and I think the worst about her, or that people didn't like, or the girls that didn't like, is how she spoke to him.
Right.
You know, that not a lot of respect and all of that. But for her, in her world, it was fine, right? And my thing is, I appreciate, because she's not being somebody else.
Exactly.
Like, she was like that off camera. She's like that on camera. This is just who she is.
Yeah. No, to be honest, I didn't even have an issue with her saying that to him. I thought that was like cute, their own thing.
Yeah.
I just was kind of like shocked when she was targeting the other girls, right? And
I think she really like. She really felt it when, you know, other girls were spending time. You can tell.
Yes,
she's very possessive.
Yeah, exactly. Susana, I know that one of the questions that are asked to you a lot, and we want to know so badly, was the show scripted? But before you answer, we're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be back.
Let it be weddings, receptions, corporate events, or birthdays. We take your vision, whether traditional or modern, and make it a reality, accommodating your style and budget. With 5 years of reliable professional decor services, Luxury Event Decor offers state-of-the-art, fresh and innovative creations. Our services include a variety of wedding stages, reception backdrops, table arrangements, floral accents, and an array of venue accessories. Let us help you experience your vision. Your special day is our special day, because dreams do come true. Let us give you that experience. Come visit our showroom, Luxury Event Decor. We decorate, you celebrate. 416-292-3530 or visit at www.luxuryeventdecor.com.
Hi, I'm your mortgage agent Yutha Jananthan. உங்களோட லைஃப் ஸ்டைல் மாறுபட்டதாக இருக்கலாம். You could be a self-employed, first-time buyer or investor. உங்களோட கலந்துரையாடி சரியான அடமான கடனை பெற்றுத் தருகிறேன். Not only that, refinancing, commercial mortgage, transfer போன்ற அனைத்து தேவைகளுக்கும் என்னை அழையுங்கள்.
416-953-1473 கால் பண்ணுங்க. உங்களுக்கான சரியான மோட்கேஜை பெற்றுக்கொள்ளுங்கள். Very simple. Let him be your mortgage guardian and he will guarantee your mortgage. Yutha Jananthan, Mortgage Alliance, the Guardians.
So we're back with Susana, and we're getting all the inside scoop on EVM. So Susana, before the commercial, I asked you if the show was scripted. So that's the main question that we want to know, because you know, watching the show, there's so many things that happen that makes you question it, right? So tell us, we're dying to know.
To just say frankly, no, it was not. I think I did a live on Instagram. I don't know if you came across that, and I was asked that a lot, and I had said, you know, according, like, as far as the girls are concerned, no, it wasn't. And I don't know if people interpreted that the other way, that I'm saying that it is. But to be honest, to be frank, no, it's not. We had no idea what's going to go down. Like I said, since the first day, we don't know what we're shooting, what the episodes are going to be about, what our tasks are going to be. Like, until we get to this set, we really don't know what until Sangeeta actually starts conversing with us and telling us, we don't even know what we're going to do. And until the end of the finale, like, we had no idea that it was going to go down the way it did. So as far as we're concerned, whatever you saw, like however I reacted, all the girls reacted, that was just us being us. Like no one told us what to say. There was no time. Like it's impossible, right? Like we are really reacting to what's happening. So no, the show is not scripted.
Okay. Why did they, like when you went on live, like why did they think that you said it was?
Because I think I had mentioned sort of, and then I had said, well, as far as the girls are concerned, it's not. My sort of comes from the fact, like, at the end of the day, it's still a show. So you have to have some kind of guidance for the episodes and whatnot.
Right.
But as far as we're concerned, they don't tell us anything. So we're like waiting, okay, what are we going to do today? Are we going to be in the sun? Do I need sunscreen? We don't even know, like simple things like that, right? But as far as Sangeeta, who's the anchor, who's actually hosting the show, her obviously journey is a bit different, right? So overall, if you think the word scripted means like, is it a fake show? No, it wasn't.
Okay.
You know, I think I definitely have better things to do than go for a fake show. Leave my son and like my job, right? So no, it was not a fake show.
But according to Arya, I feel like Kunjam, right? Like there has to be some, like he had to have some guidance, right? He probably knew. What do you think? Like, do you think Arya?
He probably had a better idea of what the episodes or the tasks are going to be.
But do you
definitely.
think that he had known that he's not going to, like what the finale was going to be?
No, I mean, he probably had that conversation with himself.
Okay.
But I don't think it was like everybody but us three didn't know. I don't think it was like that. Everyone around us was genuinely shocked.
But you know what, Susana, the one thing that bugs me, because I was religiously watching the show, right? So, I mean, I'm going to tell you what I, what I think.
No problem, yeah.
You know, Arya vandu like, how come Avarna Amma and stuff, she was never a part of the show?
Yeah.
Like, if your son's getting married, right? Wouldn't she be somewhere along the show?
Yeah.
Like, how come she was never there? Like, yeah, his dad was there, but did his dad even show up at the finale?
I don't think so. I don't know. Like at that point, I wasn't sure who's in the audience. I probably don't think so. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't have the answer for that. Like when we went to his home, like his Amma wasn't there, and there was a reason. Like I think his grandma was sick, and so his mom was like at the hospital with her or something like that. So I mean, no one really asked him that. That's probably a valid question that should have been asked.
Right.
I think we were all very busy doing, like in the moment, dealing with everything else, but. I don't know, like, because like you're right, like our families are all there,
exactly.
And then so it doesn't seem balanced.
And like, I think what blown us away was like we were watching it every day, and we want to know, okay, what's gonna happen at the finale?
Yeah.
Susana, ninga namba maatinga, but I actually had a poll up on my Instagram, saying, okay, which girl do you guys gonna, vote for? Who do you think is gonna win? And I was like, Team Susana, and I had all this going on. And then I was like, the next day I was just like, okay, no, this is not happening right now. He just did not say that. So his decision was he needed more time, and that he didn't want to hurt anyone. I wasn't taking that in. So how did you stay calm when he said this? Is that when you found out as well, when you're on stage?
Yeah, so to be honest, up until that day, like us three were getting, like the three girls, Sita and Agatha, we all kind of got along, and they were like, he's gonna pick you, he's gonna pick you. Like, I was more of figuring out, how do I react if he picks me? How do I react if he doesn't pick me? Because, I don't really react, and it's not like, I think those reactions come when you're really, really drenched in something. So for me, I'm like kind of going with the flow here, right? So I was more focused on that. So I'm standing on the stage and I'm trying to figure out what he's saying, and he's doing this big dialogue, and I'm like, okay, he's probably just, obviously it's like, every elimination was very hard for him. Like I could tell, like you're kind of like, saying bye to two people, right? And especially the fifth, like Abarna and Sweta, that was very, very a huge thing, because he had visited the parents and all of that. So I know it's hard for him, and I have always said that. Like more than us, I think it's harder for him. So I'm waiting and I'm listening, and then I'm like, okay, well, what did he say? And then I'm just like, did you just say this for real? Like I'm processing this in my head, and I don't know if you noticed, I was the one standing next to them.
Exactly.
So then Sangeeta's like, okay, well, girls, it's time for the girls. How do you feel, girls?
Because I remember you kind of said the same thing that we said, where you were like, wasn't that the point of the show? I remember you saying that.
Yes.
And that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like to be honest, I thought, okay, you know what, Avidvanda, he's going to pick somebody, and then a couple of months down the road, they're going to say, okay, they broke up, he didn't go through with the marriage, right?
Yeah.
But nobody expected him not to pick somebody, right? So you said that. I remember you saying that was the whole point, but then you were like, okay, but that's okay. Like, were you just trying to help him out?
Well, okay, so obviously I was put on the spot, and I'm the first one, so I was like, oh, man. So then, I had to react. My thing is, I don't like right to dispute. Like, he's an adult. He's a man making a decision, knowing the consequences, knowing where he is. Like, he's on a public platform. He's not like, at a home or something like that. So knowing all of that, he's making this such a big, risky decision. He's obviously thought it through. As much as, accepting it is one thing, because like I said, I'm not going to dispute it and argue and like force him. So that's what I was reacting. But at the same time, you're trying to process it and understand it. So that was difficult for me. In the beginning, like you said, I was like, well, what was the point of all of this? And it's not necessarily I wanted him to pick me. Like, you just pick anyone. And then there's a closure to this journey, to the show, and we all move on. So when you look at it like that through a personal lens, and you kind of, if you take it personally, definitely you'll feel a little like offended. And that's how I initially took it, because I just didn't get it. I'm like, why didn't you tell me this ahead of time? Like, all these questions are in my head. We were all like standing like brides. Like, why did you do this, right? So that's how I initially processed it. But like with time and listening to what he's saying at the same time, I've learned to accept it.
But the thing is, like he was saying, like, I don't want to hurt the girls, but like, if he said, Susana, you didn't win, you would have been hurt at the moment, but then that would have been okay, because you would have said, okay, he's in love with this person. But for him to say, okay, I don't want to hurt you guys, that's why I don't want to pick anybody, like, I
think that, the part that didn't work so great in this situation is the fact that they had all these rituals that, like, in India especially, it's a huge thing. Only brides do it. Doing the mendi, putting their name on your hand, sangeet, and what's the other one? Like, meeting the families was a huge thing. And it's not just like you're going for a coffee date with your family. It was like literally you're actually
the bride and groom.
Yeah, it was like more of a setup like that. I think mine is a bit different, Sri Lanka, but like everyone else had that kind of very traditional setup. So having been there and meeting the family on a very public platform, I can see why it's harder for him to make that kind of a decision, right?
But like, the thing is, I have to stop you there, because the thing is, you met all the families, and then you had the 4-day celebration, and then you had the finale. So if you're going to meet the family, and you said the last elimination really, broke your heart, and you had all this time though, why did you do the 4-day celebration? Why did you bring the girls up to the finale?
I don't know.
That's when we start questioning and saying, okay, Arya did know that he's not going to choose anybody.
I honestly don't know what his thought process was, and I don't know how much power he also has in that aspect. You know what I mean?
Because I don't know how you stayed so calm, because I was like, I felt so insulted, and I was like, okay, this is very disrespectful for the girls and the families. Kudos to your dad. I think he was the only one that actually, said, okay, how long do you need? Like, how much more time do you need? I thought that everybody else was kind of like beating around the bush, but he was just like, okay, Arya, when are you gonna know?
I think also it's and that place for the families and the girls, every girl was different. Like, I'm different. If he didn't choose me, I would have just been very supportive about that. That's all right, and moved on. But I don't know how everyone else would have been. And maybe that could have been his concern as well, right? But honestly, I don't know.
So do you think that, since he needed more time, that he is actually thinking about it and he's going to make a decision?
I have no idea, honestly, what he's thinking. It's a huge decision, right? To say you have to pick somebody from 16 people and marry them, that's huge. There's no guarantee that you have to even like them, So even dating them it's different if it was all off camera. This is a very public way. So to say kind of select one person and then be attached to that person, and even if it doesn't work out, you're kind of still attached to that person. So it's huge. So for him wanting time, I get it. Could have told us that before.
We don't get it.
I get it. Does that mean we have to wait around for him?
See, that's the thing. Like, he knows that you're leaving, and all the girls went back home now, right?
I think so, yeah.
So did he tell you guys before you left? Did you guys have a conversation with him?
I did talk to him after the whole finale and all of that. Me and him always have an opener conversation. It's very cordial, very open. There was no hard feelings, because I'm very blunt. Like I just don't have time to sugarcoat things. And it's like, I'm all the way in Canada. There's some logistics here, right? So I have no hard feelings with his decision, and he can, if that's his decision. He obviously said whatever reason he needs time, fine. He didn't want to do that on that platform, fine. He's an adult. You accept that, and I literally, just the way I look at it is, Okay, that was that. Now moving on to my next part of my life. Like moving on, you know what I mean? Like you can't sit and dwell and wonder and prick and pry and wait. I don't have time.
But Susana, let's say Arya dropped everything
Yeah.
and he like, you know, came all the way to Toronto
Yeah.
and he surprised you and he said, Susana, you're the one. Like I thought about it and I want to marry you. What are you going to do? What are you
People
going
have
to say?
asked me this before,
Okay.
and honestly, I think you cannot get to know someone on a show. Like this is just impossible. So
Okay.
for me, whether it's him or anyone else, but like you need to really get to know someone off camera. And like, marriage is not a simple thing. It's a huge decision. You know, even when you just date, like you can't just close your eyes and. Especially for me, I'm not going to do this again unless I'm 200% sure. So that would be my answer. Like I would definitely need to get to know you on a real basis. You know, that's what I would say.
Okay. And you know, you went to Sri Lanka. You've never been, right?
No,
How was
yeah.
that whole experience?
Honestly, I loved it because I've always wanted to go. And you know, like I wanted to go with my parents because I think going on our own is not the same. If you've never been there, you don't know where to go and you can't really appreciate the sentimental roots and all of that without your parents. So I wanted to go with my parents and it just wasn't possible, like to organize all our vacations and all the time together.
Yeah.
So this was amazing because we got to do that. And you know, and not only that, on a way to like learn so much, you know, and I felt bad, like how I didn't know, how come I didn't take that initiative earlier? It was always on my bucket list. I was going to do it anyways. But the way we did it, and even my mom, it was very, very personal. You know, despite the fact that it all happened on a show and all of it, aside from that, it was very, very personal.
How
Because
long did you guys stay?
literally we stayed for a few days because
Okay.
it was just my home visit. But I mean, even that is huge for me.
Right.
You know, like my mom hadn't gone back in 30 years
Yeah,
herself.
yeah.
So, you know, for her to be able to experience that was really good.
And you know, one of the emotional time, like watching the show, was when you know your little guy came on the show, right? Like we were really surprised. We didn't know if he was going to come.
Yeah,
or what was
yeah.
that? So, and you haven't seen him in so long. And even when they had the friendship episode where all their friends came, they couldn't bring somebody for you just because it was a last minute thing.
Yeah.
So just seeing your little guy come and you were like waiting, and oh my God, these Indian shows were having their violins in the background, making it
like
even.
the music is like
making
you're
it
just gonna
even
cry
more harder
for that.
us to
Yeah.
watch, right? So it made it more emotional when your little guy came on. So whose decision was that for him to come on the show? Were you okay with that? Did you want him to come on the show?
So, just rewinding a little bit back, when I left, what I told my son was that yes, I'm going to, you know, he knows Arya, you know, his favorite actor is Vijay, but I kind of introduced Arya on the screen, and I said, you know, I'm going to be on a TV show. Like I just gave him basic information, so he's not like shocked. So he knew what I was doing. Okay. As far as the show is concerned, like, you know, that was an option for me, and I wasn't sure how I felt about it, but I did miss my son, and for me, this was a journey that I'm embarking on. And the fact is, if I didn't have my son, that it's not a true representation of who I am. I am a mom.
Yes.
He's my son, you know. So a lot of people had a lot of problems with that, but the only two people that really need to talk about that is myself and my son's dad. So both of us had that conversation, and you know, at the end of the day, I don't feel bad about that because, like I said, he's my son, and he was part of me on this journey that I did.
Yeah.
So that was that, and it was so nice to see. Like I felt bad taking him away from school a little bit, but you
I'm
know,
sure he didn't mind.
he didn't mind, but he kept asking, "Why is it so hot here?" Like he couldn't get over the heat.
I remember the first thing he said when he came was, "Who are all these people?"
Yeah. So like not just my son, like my family. I think everyone's family members. The camera thing was huge. It took us like a few weeks to get over that. So them, they were kind of like having difficulty with that.
Yeah. And what would you say your favorite part of this show was, and what was the hardest?
Favorite? Oh my God, there's so many. I think as an experience, I didn't know going into how much of an inspiration I'll become. And like so many girls, women, like message me all the time. And even Arya has told me, like he gets so many messages, just how inspiring I am, especially to a lot of single moms. Like I get messages from other single moms or divorcees who say like they thought their life was over, and then they see me and they're just like, wow, you know. So for me, that's the best part.
Okay.
You know, I didn't realize that I was just being myself. I didn't go in thinking I'm going to, you know, do anything different. But that to me is very close to heart, because I think every woman should be empowered. You know, I don't think your life ends because you had one bad marriage or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like there's more to us than us being a mom or us being a wife.
I think that's what I liked about you on the show,
Yeah.
to be honest. I think that you didn't hide anything, you
No,
know? You
yeah.
were like very open about everything.
Yeah.
You know, you said like, yeah, you know, my son's dad knows that I'm here and he's okay with it. We have a good relationship. Like
Yeah.
you were very open. Like
Yeah.
usually like we would kind of like hide that and be like, yeah, he knows, but you know, not talk about that. But you were like, yeah, ask me anything. You know, and you were very open
and
about
I'm
that.
always like that. Like those who really know me here,
Yeah.
you know that about me. I don't think there's a point in like pretending and hiding, because then why? Like the whole point of you living a life is to live a true life, truthful to yourself, you know, to your conscience. So why lie?
And what was the hardest part about being
Hardest is probably being away from my son.
Okay.
Definitely. You know, that was very hard. Like, you know, I was so busy, like I said, but like when you think back, like, you know, that as a mom, I'm sure you understand. Yeah, it's really, I've never been away from him for this long. So yeah,
I know
that was
that
hard.
must have been really hard for you and for him, right?
Yeah,
And like you said, a lot of people are, you know, inspired by you. You've gained so many fans.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm sure you hear a lot of negative press and everything
yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
How are you dealing with that?
Negative, for me, it's like, of course, when there's a lot of positive, there's no doubt you're going to come across some negative. And I usually just ignore it, because I just, you know, there's no time to delve into what everyone is thinking. You can't please everyone, you know, and sometimes when you need a change, you're going to have to come across some resistance. That's just normal. So I don't take it to heart. I don't take it to, you know, personally. I just think, especially like, for example, you know, a lot of people saying, oh, secondhand, divorce. These are serious issues in our community or in our culture, not necessarily just in Toronto, but like even in India, right? But we have a long way to go if that's what you think about women who've been divorced. You know what I mean? Like things should change. So I don't take it to heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And what's next for you now? Like now that you're back, like what's your future plans?
Yeah. Honestly, I've lost so much of my routine.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I've been away from work and the whole thing. So really getting back into that, getting my son back into his routine, my own routine, going back to work. I can't wait to go back to work. I miss them all. They were amazing at work. I have to like shout out to them. They were like following no one's Tamil there,
Really?
but they
They were
all
following
follow
the
the
show?
show. They
Wow.
have a WhatsApp chat. They screen the finale
So
at
now
like
we
in a
know
room.
Susana was talking in Tamil. I mean, in English the whole time for
It helped.
for
It
her
helped out.
coworkers.
Yeah. So I miss them. So I can't wait to get back and really just get back to everything. You know.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Susana. You know, you've done such a good job there. You actually represented Toronto very well.
I hope I did well.
You did. And you know, you gave a good fight, and you know, you were hardcore competition for all the girls.
Yeah.
So you know, good. You know, thank you for that, and good luck for everything. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Sio. Nice to see you again.
Thank you so much, Susana.
No problem.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this special interview today about EVM. I hope all your questions got answered. I can finally put my mind at ease now, so I'll see you next time on another special interview. Take care. Bye-bye.